Hello and welcome everyone, this is JamieX66. This is my second attempt at doing this quick sort of informal Persona 5 review. What I wanted to do initially was sort of show off this intro, which really does emphasize just how stylish Persona 5 really is. It gives that sort of anime vibe, but it also just goes nuts with visuals, amazing music, and all that is introduced in the game itself. It's completely super stylish game, but it's also super addictive and super amazing. So I'm going to sort of make this sort of shorter. I wanted to initially just maybe show 10 minutes of gameplay, give you a little bit of an idea about the game and go from there. But the game actually blocks recording of gameplay. So we're going to do again, we're going to show you the intro of the game, so if you don't want to see that, feel free to step away, but it's no spoilers, you'll get this within the first 10 minutes of everything in this game. So, essentially, if you've never played Persona before, you probably don't know what you're getting into. There's a lot to it, and it is sort of a hard sell. It's a long game. I finished the playthrough last night, got the true ending. I went 101 hours, but it's a big investment, but it's totally worth your time. And I can understand, you know, it's hard to sort of put that much time into a game these days, but it does sort of lend to doing day-by-day stuff. It allows you to chip away, and the game itself actually follows a day-by-day structure. So you could put a few days in, chip away at it that way, and I think that's probably the best way to play it. So essentially, Persona is... well, Persona 5 in general, you take control of a teenager. He made some mistakes in his country town that he lived. They were sort of explained that in the intro. I won't go in depth into it. Essentially, you're on probation. You get moved somewhere else into the big city. And that's where the game kicks off. So as you can see, I completed the game 101, almost 102 hours. But completely worth it. So we're going to go into a new game here. Like I said, the game doesn't let you show too much gameplay, but I'll show you the introduction. This is just all DLC stuff, so we're just going to skip by this. So essentially, like I said, you move to the big city. You find out very early on that you actually have a special ability which allows you to go into another world called the Metaverse. So essentially the Metaverse allows you to go and see within people's hearts. Now, these people that you go and visit and go see their hearts actually have their hearts distorted. So if you're distorted enough, you have your own palace, which is essentially where your heart completely exaggerates everything that's within your mind, distorts it, and allows you to just sort of take control of your own world. So in real life, your own individual wouldn't even know this stuff's happening. It's in the metaverse where all this stuff takes place. So essentially, throughout the game, you find individuals who are, you know, doing things wrong, evil people, and you change their hearts. Now, in terms of that, once you change someone's heart, there's a fair chance, strong chance, that they will now not be able to live with what they've done, and they will confess their sins, and sort of allowing everyone to sort of get, not revenge in a way, but sort of satisfaction that everything that they've done will now be atoned for. It touches some dark elements in that way, and like I said, it's hard to completely explain the Persona world, but there's a lot to it, and as you can see by this introductory cutscene, it's super stylish. I can't go past how amazing the game looks. It's not photorealistic graphics, not by a long shot, but what it lacks in photorealism, it really does emphasize in music, visuals, the anime style, and the use of color. Enemies themselves also got some amazing visual styles, all of them sort of created to look like, you know, the evil versions of stuff that happens in real life, and it's a great aesthetic, and it looks amazing. So what makes Persona 5 so unique is that not only are you controlling yourself in the metaverse, which is where we are at the moment, you know, you're having turn-based battles against enemies, but you're also in the real world, juggling high school life. You know, you're studying for exams, you're working to earn some money, you're increasing your stats, you're building relationships with your friends, bonds, and while you're doing all this, you level up, gain skills, you level up your friends, and all that. All the effort you make in the real life does end up coming over to the metaverse, and it helps you in your battles as well. So you want to build those relationships, and you will want to, because the characters are so well rounded. You know what their goals are, their motivations, you know exactly what's happened to them, and to be honest, the writing is fantastic. All these characters are delivered so well with amazing voice acting that you really do bond with these characters. I won't lie, if there wasn't a handful of moments where I found myself getting, you know, quite attached to the characters, and I was probably a blubbering mess towards the end of the game, and that happened a few times actually. But it's the fact that they can make these powerful characters that really do make you attached to them. So we're going to get a quick instance of showing you the battle system. Now you're going to face off against shadows, essentially evil versions of people, their inner selves come to life. So this is really basic, sort of show you what the battle system is, and there's a lot of depth to it. Each shadow has their own weaknesses, their own strengths. Some will block your attacks, some will be able to, you know, put confusion, so that way you'll attack your teammates, stuff like that. So you can do basic stuff like use your gun. Now that can sort of maybe make a critical hit, and then you can maybe attack again. But it's sort of juggling between physical attacks, your persona abilities, which at the moment you've got a heavy curse damage to one foe. Now you'll face off maybe up to 5 enemies at once, so you want to sort of juggle how much SP you have with what's right for that situation. So at the moment there's only one foe. I'll attack him with that one, and we do a little bit of damage there. Now he's going to use a fire attack, so we do some damage there. So essentially you can guard as well, and it's sort of using all those abilities to face off against some really interesting enemies. So here you see I hit a critical attack, so sorry, I can do another attack now. So I'm going to do another persona attack. But essentially you level up personas as you go, and you confuse to create different ones. It's very much sort of, think of Pokemon in a way. You can sort of, you know, collect as you go, get some more personas, but then sort of fuse them together, power up your initial one, and you can get some really interesting and amazing attacks out of that. Some really strong powered ones. Now, you're also going to have amazing boss battles. These boss battles are really going to test your skills, and you're going to have to really level up and build those relationships with your friends and your teammates as you go, to be able to take these monsters down. And it's really fantastic, it really is. What I also love about Persona 5 is that it allows you to have these sort of downtime moments with your friends as well. So while you may be, you know, sort of exploring palaces and taking down people's inner selves to sort of fix them in a way, but you also get to sort of, you know, spend time with your friends. I know you go overseas with a school trip, you go and have celebratory dinners with them and everything like this, and that's when the characters really get to become one with you, and you really get to sort of get attached to the characters in a way, and it's really fantastic the way it's done. What I also love about this game is everything's animated. As you can see, here's just a menu, but you know, there's movement, there's color, everything's sort of moving. You can see that on the bottom right hand screen as well. And all around the screen, you sort of just see that sort of almost hypnotic effect they've got going, and it looks amazing. Everything's sort of moving. I can't show you the normal menu at this time, but even that's moving, and it's just constantly stylish, along with this amazing music that you can hear in the background. I think that pretty much covers all the basics, and it sort of gives you a little idea of what the gameplay looks like. I can't show you too much more, unfortunately, just because the game's going to block out what I can show you. I think it's got to do with like spoilers and everything like that, so I won't be able to go too much further on. I just don't want to get to a point where it cuts the video off. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm going to sort of test the best way to sort of do reviews going forward, and we'll sort of see how things go. But the long and short of it, Persona 5 is absolutely incredible. It should be pretty cheap these days as well if you can get a hold of it, maybe during a sale. And if you do have the time to be able to play this game, you owe it to yourself to check it out. And like I said, chip away at it. Do a few hours each day, and you will find yourself constantly coming back because it's that damn good. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please let me know. Like I said, I want to sort of evolve how we're doing these reviews going forward. Hopefully I can show you just a big chunk of gameplay in the future. But for now, that's Persona 5's intro. I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts, and I'd love to know what you thought of the game and this review in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching.